Hello everyone, and welcome to Art Lounge Alley. This is Figure Drawing Basics Part 43. I will be jumping into today's session, but first, I would like to introduce those who are just tuning in for the very first time to the Art Lounge Alley, to the Patreon page. So this is something I launched about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, maybe a little bit more. I'm not 100% sure there. And I just wanted to give you guys more opportunities to be part of the Art Lounge stream, to get yourself involved, be part of the community, get to know some people, and mingle. So tier 1, it is the official patron tier, $2 per month, pretty affordable. You show your support for Art Lounge, and you'll be the first few to have your name listed at the end of the stream. I'm going to start doing credits, so at the end of the stream, you guys are going to see a thank you there. Next, we got the tier 2 all access patron. So all the previous tier benefits, plus having early access to finished pages and exclusive content. So things that I'm not going to be posting to any other social media platform aside from Patreon. You'll also, as mentioned, have access to the Discord server. This is a perfect place for you guys to interact with each other, and that's what I was talking about before. Everybody from all the social media platforms that I post to regularly could come together into one room, one channel, and interact with one another. And also all the people from all the different tiers on the Patreon page will be in that channel as well. And it's a great way for you guys to interact and get to know one another, share resources, talk about all sorts of things, art-related, not art-related, get to know one another, and have a place for a community, have a place for people to come together and have a good time, share ideas, inspire one another, that sort of thing. Next, we got Tier 3. And this is where it gets interesting. This is where you guys get involved with the stream. So here, if you are working on something and you want to get some tips, you want to get some helpful information on where you can improve in your drawing and just drawing in general, this is a perfect opportunity for that. So once you pledge to this tier, you will have access to the Discord server. You could send me your work that you want to have critiqued on stream through the Discord server, and I'll have that every Friday. I will be critiquing, so I'll start critiquing at 8 p.m. and it's going to go until 10 p.m. and it's going to substitute everything that you see today and every previous Friday as well. So once you guys start pledging, it's going to be a new stream. There are a couple of things here. You will also have an opportunity to promote your social media. So if you have a DeviantArt, if you have an Instagram, whatever it is, you can include that link and I'll show it on the stream. So just a quick rundown: live stream critique and promotion, artist submission Discord channel. So for those of you who submit to the Art Lounge Alley, for the tier 3, you will also have access to the channel for all those who submit, and that way you guys can interact with each other, and share resources, share ways you guys can improve, that sort of thing. Talk about the stream, talk about all sorts of things. It's a chat room for you guys to come to and see some familiar faces. You will also have access to all the previous tier benefits, including having your name listed in the credits as a thank you for being part of the Art Lounge Alley community. Next, we got the Kickstarter patrons. It's $25 per month. You could submit it once. The same applies for the tier 3 artist submission. Critique submission. You could just submit it once and make sure you cancel before the next month starts. Same applies for this one, the Kickstarter patrons. So for $25 per month, you will have a live high-resolution digital painting of you done. I'm going to work on that. Once it's complete, I'm going to send it to you, and you could do whatever you like with it. Make it your social media profile photo. Send it to somebody who's close to you. I do encourage you guys to wear masks, makeup, glasses, expressive face expressions. Just be creative about it. You know, just come up with different ways to just decorate the profile photo that you want to see. But it's not necessary. You could just send me a simple photo of you from your head down to your chest, and I'm going to start doing that high resolution digital painting of you. And you will also get access to all the previous tier benefits as well. Next, we got the Tier 4 Artist Promotion. Now, this one I encourage you guys to read through on your own. You can read all of these tiers at your own time, at your own pace, by going to the social media links in the Twitch channel. I have a bunch of them posted there, including the Patreon page, and you can click on that and check this page out, read through all these tiers, get a pretty good idea. So for the Tier 4 Artist Promotion, that's really meant for intermediate or advanced artists. It's an opportunity for you guys to promote your work, promote your ideas, promote what you've created, share it with people. I regularly, as I mentioned earlier, post to all social media platforms that you see listed there. So you will have an opportunity to share your work and have all that funneled to your channel, to your profile. It isn't limited to illustrators. It is open to all sorts of artists. So as you guys could see here, if you're a comedian, dancer, musician, architect, animator, painter, poet, performance artist, filmmaker, or just an artist with interesting content, this tier is good for that. You'll get 5-minute airtime. It requires for you guys to submit a 5-minute video. It gives you an opportunity to pace things out at your own pace, present it the way you want it to be presented, and have people check out your work and talk about it the way you'd like to discuss it, or how you'd like to portray it. So that is the requirement for it to be featured on the stream, and I will show it at the beginning as a special intro. And as I mentioned, I'll also promote you through all the other social media platforms as well. So there's the list here, there's some tips here, there's some ideas, there's some requirements. I highly encourage you guys to read through them. Next, we got Tier 5, which is pretty self-explanatory, private tutoring opportunity, and this one is open to all skill levels. So if you're a beginner all the way up to advanced, if you want to improve your work, if you need some pointers, some tips, just guidance on how overall you can improve your work, this is a perfect opportunity. It's going to be private. It's going to be between me and you, unlike the critique stream where pretty much anybody who tunes in is going to be able to see it. You'll have hands-on input from me. You'll also get, and just to quickly summarize it, you'll get one 30-minute video per week for a total of 4 videos per month catered just to you. So you'll have hands-on input, step-by-step instructions, and demonstration showing you where you can improve. And I'll also send you the PSD file that I'm going to be working on in layers, so you could explore it at your own time and at your own pace. There's going to be homework. I'm going to assign you guys things that you could do throughout the week to keep the fire burning, to keep you inspired, to keep you drawing until next week, until next week's video. You will also get a private Discord channel dedicated just for you. So all the 15 members who pledge to this tier are going to have their own private Discord channel between me and you. And that way you could leave me comments, you could leave me questions, you could leave me progress, and nobody else is going to be able to see it aside from me and you. You will also have Tier 4 members only Discord channel. So all 15 of you will be able to get together, talk about your progress, share some ideas, share some pointers, share some struggles that you're going through with your work. See if you guys can relate and talk about how you got over it, or how you're in the process of it at the moment, or talk about pretty much anything you'd like. It's another place for you guys to build a community and have a room to go to and interact with one another. So that pretty much sums it up, y'all. I'm not going to spend way more time on it. I'm going to jump into the stream for today, and it's going to be pretty much where I left off yesterday, and that is filling up the page. filling up these sketchbook pages before I embrace a new one, which I'm pretty excited about. It's been actually longer than I anticipated. I really thought it was going to be only a week of drawing, but as I mentioned, I really would like to cover as much of the pages as possible. And as you guys could see, I'm really taking advantage of pretty much every corner, every part of the page, to make sure that you guys see how much work you should be putting into your sketchbook. Draw as much as possible. Don't turn a new page. And sometimes it's exciting to start a new book, right? Because you want to say, oh, I've done so much work, I finished the entire sketchbook. But really, when you flip through it, there isn't much work done there. You have just one centerpiece. Let's say you drew something real quick, you didn't like it, you flipped it over because you didn't want to, you wanted a fresh start, or you just didn't like how it came out, so you don't want to look at it anymore, right? But that's not a good way to use the sketchbook, and it's also not benefiting you to close the sketchbook knowing that you got all these pages that you could still fill. All these pages you could practice how to draw the human figure, or practice these simple figure drawings to improve your understanding of anatomy, to improve your understanding of the human body. You can draw all sorts of things on there. And as you guys could see, I've drawn these figures multiple times all over the page, several times, because just as I've mentioned before, doing something once isn't going to get you the results that you're looking for. Going to the gym once a week, you can't expect that you're going to have definition or muscle, or you're going to lose all that weight instantly. So the same idea goes here. You draw it once, it's not going to make you remember every single thing and understand proportion and draw accurately and all that stuff. So it's important to draw over and over and over again. And this is really mainly going out to beginners, or people who are learning to draw, or in a beginner intermediate stage. It really does take time for you to develop the skill to be able to do a lot of these things. So this is just to demonstrate, and I'm flipping through this stuff to show you guys that you should really fill out the pages as much as possible. Don't skip through them. Don't fool yourself to think that you're finishing up a sketchbook and you've done good work. You really have to put in a lot more into every single page. Get used to that. And it's a good opportunity. As you guys can see, there's good opportunities to really practice how to collide objects and subjects together. Practice how to draw something in the background of another subject. Draw it in front of another subject, and that's it's a no-brainer almost, especially when it comes to drawing comics. You're gonna have lots of instances of having to draw foreground and background concepts. So just having to draw all over the page, making sure to fill up as much empty space as possible, gives you that practice that you need. Quickly, just to go over these two pages are available for you to download on the Patreon page. So once you pledge to tier 2, you'll have access to all of my work, including speed through paintings, where you guys will see the beginning to finished process of some of the projects that I've been posting. You guys will have access to these pages along with other pages as well to print. You could print them, have them next to you. You could to draw them in your sketchbook, in your new sketchbook, in your old sketchbook, and that way you could save yourself space. Instead of having some piece of paper next to you, you could start drawing right from memory, and then you could flip to it and you could be like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be 4 heads for the top half of the body and 4 heads for the bottom part of the body. So there's great benefit to it. You can keep that. If you ever lose that paper, you could always re-download it and keep it. for life, as long as you can. There is no limit to it. Even if you unsubscribe, whatever it is, you guys still will have that page. So great opportunity to download this, great opportunity to practice and understand the human figure proportions, that sort of thing. And if you guys are tuning in for the very first time, highly encourage you to check out some of the other videos. I go into detail about each of these pages. I go into detail about what the benefit is of drawing these very technical drawings. As I mentioned before, learning the alphabet is what got you to reading very complicated text, right? So this is your alphabet. This is something that you need to learn in order to be able to tackle on more complicated drawings. It's a good starting point. It's something that you can use as a gauge if you're drawing something in a different angle, in a different perspective. You could still use these rules as your basis. So if you're drawing, let's say, in perspective, the person is running towards the camera, their foot is further away from the camera, you know that based on this, the foot is supposed to be the size of the head. So when you draw that foot that's behind, that is further away from the camera, you know that it's supposed to be smaller than the head that you drew. So if you end up drawing the foot and it's supposed to look like it's behind, but it's the same size as the head, it's going to throw off the perspective. It's going to throw off the illusion of the perspective, and it's going to make the drawing look flat. So having this as a basis, understanding this concept, gives you that opportunity when it comes to foreshortening, when it comes to other angles. You're starting from some point rather than very abstract, sort of blind approach to those drawings. And there's other pages as well that I've uploaded to give you guys opportunity to practice the figure, to draw the figure in different positions, different angles, to spice things up, to make things more interesting. You can't be drawing this all day, every day. These guidelines that I was showing you guys, even though that's great and it's very impressive if you do, it is important to throw in some spontaneous stuff, and these drawings provide that. They're also available on the Patreon page for you guys to download and practice at your own pace, at your own time. So enough with that. Let's jump into where I was planning to fill up more empty space. Now I kind of want to go along with this. And I might just do that. So we're going to start off with very simple gesture lines. I'm trying to fill up, I'm trying to fill up this area right here. I want to make sure that the drawing doesn't bleed off the page. It's not too big, where I can't really finish much. So this gives me an opportunity to do that. Drawing these stick figure-like guidelines, in a sense, like you're telling yourself, okay, this is where things start and this is where things will end. So you don't make the mistake of bleeding off the page. And it doesn't have to be exact. You could shift things around, but because like I was mentioning, the entire point of it is so that you know how far things should go. So as we learned, the width of the arm is half the head. So again, you could give it an approximate measurement, right? Even though this is angled, you could see that the curve of the center line is suggesting that the other half is turning away. But you could use this half as a unit of measurement. And again, it should be about a half a head. So you could see that's pretty close to the actual measurement. I'm gonna skip this song. Sounded something from like, I don't know, Zelda. And even though I like that game, well, the not the Super Nintendo, the NES version, I don't really want to listen to the entire soundtrack of it. That music is just fun for the game, I think, because it kind of puts you into the mood and into the graphics of the game as well. It matches the graphics. All right, let's move on to the next area. And let's see how many more spaces we got here. So one, probably going to spend some time drawing around the arm as well. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe some here. And these I'm going to leave blank for now. Or I'm going to leave them the way that they are. 3, 4. 5. I'm gonna leave these alone. 6. Maybe this. So 7, 8. Some here, 9. So like 9 pages to go. Not really fully 9, but I'm gonna say around there. So once again, I'm gonna draw the stick figure to make sure everything fits in. Remembering to draw lightly, keeping my distance from the tip of the pencil. Let's change the arm going this way. So as I mentioned, the foot shouldn't be bigger than the head because it is going towards the back. So there's a little bit of foreshortening there. Now I am gonna do another one. This time it's really gonna collide with this other body. And I'm drawing through the objects. You know, I can always go back and define the lines that I want, but I'm drawing through it as if though the first body, the body in the foreground, is transparent. And that helps to ensure anatomy is in place, or the proportion is in place rather. So now that the figure is complete, I'm just gonna define the areas that are outside of the other body. That aren't being taken up by parts of the other body. Gonna draw another body here, colliding with the rest of them. Once again, I'm gonna draw lightly so that I could overlap things and draw through all the other figures to ensure I maintain proportion. And what I mean is, if I, for instance, in this case, right, I'm drawing the leg, and if I skip over the area where the body is in the foreground and continue on behind it, like in between these legs, I could shift it up a little bit more, and that's going to throw off the lines here, or the continuation of the line. So it's going to look like his leg is like detached completely. Whereas if I draw through, making it look like the other body is transparent, it allows me to continue the lines of this body that I'm currently drawing to make sure that it's consistent. So it's a cluster right here, but it's, as I mentioned, it's a good way to practice to draw bodies next to each other, having them collide with each other. It makes the scene more interesting. It makes the eye want to travel and like figure out what's going on actually. I did like how this turned out, and I think I'm going to take a few minutes to ink this. You know, I'm still waiting for an answer from Dr. Martin about India inks having animal parts in it. From what I read, India ink has beetle parts in it. I want to say Beetlejuice. Just beetle parts. Beetlejuice is actually one of my favorite animations and movie. Also, what I really like about this brush is that it doesn't lose its shape. That's, I guess, the benefit of having a nylon brush. And the fibers of this are excellent quality. And I'm taking the opportunity to practice. Very thin lines. To suggest shadows. After all, this figure is behind. But yeah, going back to the India ink thing, like I definitely need to get more ink to refill this brush, but I refuse to get ink that is made from like animal parts. It's so ridiculous. I'm not drawing with any animal parts. It's gross. It's gross and it's wrong on so many levels. Like, mutilate animals so that somebody could draw with their parts. That's sick. I'm not interested in contributing towards that. But I did write them, and I asked them if their India ink has any animal parts in it, and still haven't heard back yet. Their website says something about it which suggests that they don't, but it's kind of vague. So I want to get more definitive answer. I gotta say, you know, people who are vegan and have lots of money really need to step it up, because all these toxic businesses are going to continue exploiting. And how vegan are you if you just continue to contribute to it? Let's say especially if you're an artist with lots of money and you're vegan, create a business. You know, create a business that follows those values, so less people will contribute towards animal abuse and torture and mutilation for entertainment. It's just crazy. Gotta send shout outs to Billie Eilish, the young, famous artist, and doing a lot for the vegan industry and creating brands, creating and contributing to less animal cruelty. It's just such an incredibly toxic industry, like the kind of behavior that stems from that, people working there and getting kicks out of like harming animals because they can, like the videos that you see with these people. Also, people could eat something and then crap it out later. Like that just sounds ridiculous. And also a lot of people who work in those industries, and considering the kind of work that you have to do, right? The fact that you go in every day smelling blood, going home with blood all over your hands, kicking and screaming animals all day. There's a lot of alcohol and drug abuse that stems from that. Because people can't cope, or they need something to do to cope with that environment. You hear people complaining about their work environment in like the office where they just sit and do nothing basically, and that becomes stressful for them in some way, and they're just like psychologically affected by it, and they go drinking because of it. Imagine what it's like working in those insane environments, and the kind of like disease that spreads from it, and all sorts of stuff. Like it's just awful. And just murdering living things for a living every day, day by day. That really pays a toll. I mean, if your office job is affecting you psychologically, imagine how those places affect people psychologically. And it's very well known for contributing to child abuse as well. Those workers are so stressed out from those work environments, and they come home and they take it out on their family. The same behavior that they take out on animals that don't want to listen, they take out that same behavior on kids that don't want to listen, or whatever it is. If abuse is like their daily behavior, then you sure as hell can expect it to also trickle into a family life. So yeah, I don't support it on multiple levels. Not just because it's awful to do that to animals, to living beings. Like, just forget about the idea that it's animals, it's living beings who are just like mutilated and tortured for our entertainment. That's wrong. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna get a drink of water. am, well, I guess I will continue with this pen, brush pen. Whoa. Ooh. I didn't pay attention to the time, y'all. It is about that time for me to end the stream here for Drawing Basics. I will be back in 5 minutes for the project stream. I'm going to continue from where I left off yesterday. I'm pretty excited about that. So make sure you tune back in 5 minutes. For those of you who are just tuning in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. It'll help the stream grow and reach to more audience. And as well as check out the Patreon page. Read through it, see if there's some tiers that you're interested in. And with that said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. I will see you in 5 minutes for the project stream.